Welcome back to OldCoin Secrets, the place where every old coin hides a forgotten story, a twist of history, and sometimes what a fortune. Today we're diving into one of the most mysterious and valuable pennies ever made, the 1944 steel Lincoln cent, a coin that was never supposed to exist. The historical context. The story begins during World War II in the early 1940s. The United States was pouring all its resources into the war effort. Tanks, ammunition, weapons, and yes, even copper was in short supply. In 1943, the U.S. Mint made a drastic change. They replaced the traditional copper in pennies with zinc-coated steel to save copper for the war. These 1943 steel cents looked silvery and shiny, and while the idea worked, people didn't like them much. They rusted easily, and worse, they were often mistaken for dimes. So in 1944, the Mint decided to switch back to copper, made from recycled shell, casings from the battlefield. But something strange happened. The minting mistake. When production resumed in 1944, thousands of copper planchets were ready. However, a few leftover steel planchets from 1943 accidentally remained in the coin presses at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. When the presses started striking 1944 coins, and a few of them hit those steel blanks. And just like that, the 1944 steel Lincoln cent was born, a rare accident, a once-in-a-lifetime minting error. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't planned. But this accident created one of the most valuable pennies in U.S. history. How to identify a 1944 steel cent? To the naked eye, it looks almost identical to an ordinary Lincoln penny, until you notice something unusual. Here's what sets it apart. Color. It's silvery gray, not brown or red like copper cents. Magnetic test. A genuine steel cent is magnetic. If it sticks to a magnet, that's your first big clue. Weight. It weighs 2.7 grams. Lighter than a copper cent's 3.11 grams. Mint marks. Versions exist from Philadelphia. No mint mark. Denver D and San Francisco S. Because most 1944 pennies were copper, finding a steel one is like finding a diamond in a sandstorm. Rarity and survival estimates. Experts estimate that only 20 to 30 genuine 1944 steel cents are known to exist across all mints combined. Philadelphia, around 15 known pieces. Denver, about 7-8 examples. San Francisco, only 2-3 confirmed. Each one has been tracked and authenticated by major grading services like PCGS and NGC, making them elite treasures among collectors. The value in record prices. Because of its accidental nature and rarity, the 1944 steel cent ranks among the most expensive coins in U.S. history. Here's what they've sold for. Average condition, $40,000, $75,000. High grade, MS63, MS65, $125,000, $250,000. Top mint state examples, over $400,000. And in one legendary sale, a 1944 S steel cent fetched nearly $500,000 at auction. Collectors call it the wartime ghost coin, because it's like a phantom from 1943 that slipped into 1944 unnoticed. Why it's so fascinating? Every 1944 steel Lincoln cent tells a story that bridges history, human error, and wartime innovation. It represents a nation at war, a mint under pressure, and a system that, for a brief moment, lost track of what metal was in the machine. It's not just a coin. It's a frozen moment in history, a piece of steel that shouldn't have survived, but did. Collector tips how to spot a fake. Because of its high value, the 1944 steel cent is also one of the most counterfeited coins ever. Here's how to protect yourself. Use a magnet test, and if it doesn't stick, it's not real steel. Check for plating. Some fake coins are just copper cents that were coated with silver paint. Look for mint marks and weight. True steel cents will have proper mint details and correct weight. Get it certified. Always have it graded by PCGS, NGC, or ANAX for authentication. The mystery behind the steel. Many experts still wonder how these few steel planchets survived into 1944. Some believe they got stuck inside minting machinery after 1943 production. Others think they were accidentally mixed in a leftover batch when mint workers switched to copper. Whatever the reason, each steel cent from 1944 is a mistake-turned masterpiece. Legacy of the 1944 steel cent. Over time, this tiny error coin became a symbol of minting precision and imperfection. It taught the U.S. Mint how even the smallest oversight could create $1 million mystery. To this day, coin hunters across America still check every 1944 penny they find, hoping to feel that magnetic pull of destiny. Literally. So next time you see a simple old penny, take a closer look. That dull little coin might just be a piece of wartime magic. A 1944 steel Lincoln cent, one of the rarest treasures ever struck in U.S. history. Because in the world of coins, mistakes can become miracles. And one small cent can be worth a collector's lifetime dream. Coin number 2, 1992 D Close AM Lincoln cent. Sometimes the difference between a common coin and a treasure worth thousands is just a few millimeters apart. That's exactly the case with the 1992 D Close AM Lincoln cent, a coin so subtle, so easily overlooked, that even experienced collectors missed it for decades. The hidden story behind the error. In 1992, the U.S. Mint was preparing for a major design change in the Lincoln cent. The new design, which would officially appear in 1993, included a slightly modified reverse, the back of the coin, a version where the letters A and M in the word America were placed closer together. That Close AM design was meant for proof coins only, not for regular circulation. However, something unexpected happened at the Denver Mint. Somehow a few proof reverse dies, the ones with the Close AM spacing, were accidentally used on regular business strike coins. Those coins went into circulation unnoticed, carrying a secret that would only be discovered years later. How to identify a 1992 D Close AM. At first glance, this coin looks just like any other Lincoln cent from the 1990s, copper-plated zinc, with Lincoln's familiar portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But if you look very closely, preferably under a magnifying glass, you'll see the difference. The A and M in America are touching, or nearly touching. In normal 1992 coins, called wide AM, there's a clear space between the A and M. In the Close AM variety, they're so close they almost merge. The designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo, are slightly farther from the Lincoln Memorial base. This subtle detail confirms the proof-style reverse. Mint mark. Only the Denver D version is known to have this rare error. In short, the reverse of a 1993 proof coin was accidentally paired with the obverse of a 1992 Denver circulation coin. How this rare mix-up happened. So how did this happen in the first place? The U.S. Mint uses hundreds of dies every year to strike coins. When preparing new proof dies for 1993, someone at the Denver Mint seems to have accidentally installed one of the proof-style reverse dies into a regular striking press. For a short time, maybe just a few hours, coins were minted with the wrong reverse design. When the error was discovered, the dies were replaced. But by then, a small handful of those Close AM coins had already escaped into the public. Estimated rarity. Today, experts estimate that only 10 to 15 genuine 1992 D Close AM cents exist. Some reports suggest even fewer and possibly under 10. That's right. Out of billions of 1992 pennies, only a few have this special design. It's one of the rarest modern Lincoln cents ever discovered. Value in auction records. The 1992 D Close AM Lincoln cent is one of those coins that can change a collector's life overnight. Here's what they've sold for. Fine to extremely fine condition, $5,000, $10,000. Mint state, MS60, MS63, dull, $15,000, $25,000. High mint state, red examples, $30,000, $50,000. Record auction, one specimen graded. Says red sold for $25,000 at auction. And because so few are known, every new discovery has the potential to break that record again. Collector tip. How to check your 1992 pennies. The exciting part? This coin might still be out there. If you have a jar of old pennies from the early 90s, check them carefully. You're looking for that tiny gap, or lack of one, between the A and M on America. Here's what to do. Take a strong magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look at the reverse of the coin. Focus on the word America. If the letters A and M are almost touching, you might be holding a treasure. Get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC before selling. Even a circulated example can be worth thousands. The Close AM versus Wide AM Mystery Series. The 1992D isn't the only year with this kind of mix-up. Similar close AM and wide AM varieties exist for 1992, both Philadelphia and Denver, 1998, 1999, and 2000 proofs and business strikes. But among them all, the 1992D close AM remains the rarest and the most valuable. It's the first known example of a business strike coin using a proof reverse, a minting mistake that bridged 2 production years. Why it's so fascinating to collectors. What makes the 1992D close AM so legendary isn't just its rarity, it's the fact that you could have one right now and not even know it. It's a coin that hides in plain sight. The idea that something worth $25,000 could be sitting in a pocket change jar makes collectors' hearts race. It's the dream of every coin hunter, finding one of those rare pieces that the mint never meant to make. Legacy of the 1992D close AM. Over the years, the 1992D close AM has become a symbol of the golden age of modern coin variety collecting. It taught collectors that even modern coins, the ones we use every day, can contain rare treasures if you just know where to look. Each time one surfaces, it reignites the thrill of discovery in the coin community. Collectors say, it's not about finding a coin worth thousands. It's about realizing that the smallest details can change everything. The 1992D close AM Lincoln cent reminds us that sometimes the tiniest mistake at the U.S. Mint can create a modern legend. It's a coin that proves rarity isn't always about age. Sometimes it's about precision. So keep checking your change, because one day you might just flip over a penny and notice that the A and M are just a little too close, and realize that you're holding a piece of numismatic history worth a small fortune. Because in the world of coins, every detail counts, and sometimes one letter apart can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. 2 coins, 2 unbelievable mistakes that became legends. The 1944 steel Lincoln cent, a wartime error born from confusion and now worth a small fortune. And the 1992D close AM cent, a tiny spacing flaw that only the sharpest eyes could ever spot. Each one proves that even the smallest difference can change everything. A single letter, a single metal, and a simple penny turns into history. So before you let that old cent slip away, take a closer look. Because your next coin could be one of these rare treasures waiting to be found.